Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good day today. Good day for me. What did I wear? I went with that Hugo Boss Orange or Hugo Boss Orange or Orange Hugo, whatever you want to call it. First off, I love the bottle. I really do. I love that kind of like that bathroom window kind of look that it has to it, pane of glass. Uh, Not frosted like a bathroom window, but that same kind of big pane type thing. Uh, the silver around it, the metal, fine. Even the cap is okay. It's not as cheap as it initially thought it was. It's pretty heavy, and that is metal around a weighted plastic. So, and the spray is okay. Nothing too fancy, but it's okay. So there's your quick presentation. It's not bad, honestly. The smell, it kind of grows on you. When I first did the first impressions, I really didn't like it, and I still aspects of it I don't like. Aspects of it I do like. The aspects I don't like are some of the notes are apple, vanilla, woods, pepper, blah 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 blah. Uh, you know, uh, right off the top, there's a bad synthetic apple. I don't do good with synthetic red apple. It always smells off on my skin or to my nose, whatever. And this is no exception. Um, but that does die down a bit 15, 20 minutes in. That real synthetic, kind of musty apples, sweet apple kind of dries down into a more, to my nose anywhere, more agreeable kind of sweetness. And the spices start coming out. You start picking up a little bit of spices. There's a slight uh, smokiness and a good dose of powderiness. And I don't know where the powderiness is coming from in this, but it is a powdery scent. It's got a nice powdery vibe to it. Not anything like Jean Paul Gaultier the Mall, the Parfum, or Bulgari Man in Black, anything like that. No, but it's got a powderiness to it, and and the spice is nice, and that's what I like about it. Unfortunately, like I said, that the opening is not very good, and the whole scent is very. Other than the spices used, and I think it's coriander. It's one of the spices. It's kind of giving it a bit of a peppery vibe, and the Szechuan pepper, of course, that's in it. It's pretty. Now, I'm gonna say this, and and I say this. I'm gonna explain. I'm not one of the people that just, oh, it's so synthetic, so synthetic. No, because I find that very off-putting. Because 99% of the people in the world, I don't care. They don't care if it smells synthetic. Uh, Only if it smells really bad synthetic. And again, 99% of the people in the world don't really know the difference between synthetic and natural, of course. If you gave it to them side by side, they could tell the difference, but they're not going to be put off by the synthetic like fragrance aficionados are. Uh, so, I mean, and every fragrance is pretty much synthetic. Even your most expensive designers and independents use a lot of synthetics simply because A, they have to because of, regulations, allergens and poison regulations, and and also because it's a hell of a lot cheaper to get a decent synthetic vanilla than it is real vanilla or rose or citrus or blah blah blah. And keep going on and on. You use what I'm saying. So, and the best fragrances, even the best perfumers will tell you, the best fragrances aren't always all natural at all. It's a nice blend of mostly synthetic with some naturals. So it's just, when I say synthetic, I mean it's cheap synthetics. And unfortunately, that apple in this is cheap. Uh, the vanilla, well, okay, not quite as cheap as the apple. They still, if they had just stepped it up a little bit more, it would have been a lot better. But as a fragrance, I first put it on, like I said, I'm hit with the synthetic, bad, chemically sweet apple kind of musty smell. Um, then it starts to be, like I said, not so bad is the best way I could describe it. And the spice comes out, and even a bit of a boozy quality, which makes you think for a second. I think I even said it in my first impressions. almost a bit of a Dolce & Gabbana the one vibe, and then you start picking up on the powderiness and thinking, oh, this is going to be pretty good. No, all that happens in like the first 45 minutes. That's the best part of the fragrance. After about 15, 20 minutes, in the next 20 minutes, that's the best part of the fragrance. That's where I'd say it's kind of, like I said, it's got a bit of a boozy vibe, uh, that soft powderiness, a slightly smoky vanilla. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. And then boom, no. It basically, all that disappears and it becomes a cheap vanilla, basic wood fragrance on your skin for the next hour or so. Um, well, for the next hour or so, it's kind of a mixture of both some of the spices in that, and then the last hour, it's kind of just your very cheap, basic. Uh, and I mean, when I say cheap woods, I don't mean it smells like a certain wood. It kind of just smells like paper, like that kind of wood. You know what I mean? Just a very generic, soft. Can you tell I'm torn between this? Because there's parts of it I like and parts of it I don't. But the parts that I like do not outweigh the parts that I don't. I don't think this is a good scent. Some of you might, and that's fine. And I don't like to talk bad about a scent because I know every scent is somebody's favorite scent. But on me, no, this is just not good in performance. At the end of the day, what is it? uh, it's a sweet, spicy vanilla, powdery, woody kind of scent. Everything is very light and very fleeting in it. Nothing really lasts. Performance, I got about 3 hours, and I might be being a little generous. Um, Half hour, half an arm's length projection, so nothing really to speak of. Then it comes in real quick. I'm not even going to call it a bubble. It's just a decent little skin scent for an hour, hour and a half. Then about an hour, it's a very light skin scent, smells like paper. And then it's gone. So, compliments, I didn't get any. I only went to work and it was just for the dogs, but I wouldn't have got any anyway. I think after the first 15 minutes, and about, like I said, about a half hour after that or so, 40 minutes maybe, it'll get you some compliments. It's okay smelling. If they just honestly just used a few better ingredients, this would have been fine. Would have been a great, you know, trend setting, fragrance or anything, but it would have been a decent fragrance if they just had used got rid of that apple, use some different fruit. Um, More citrus would have been nice. Uh, Used a better vanilla aroma chemical, uh, and use a more distinctive wood, or even go full in bore on the paper and do something like a papyrus. You know what I mean? It would have been, but no, as is. For $20, you can get way better. 20. I mean, at this price, $20. You're going to spend like $10 more, $35. Well, $25 for this. Um, you can get a lot of Latafas, a lot of Armafs, and Latafa and Armaf, especially Latafa, the last year or so, have just been putting out bangers, right? I mean, everybody's saying that. It's the year of the clone, years of the clone. I mean, but even at $25, you can get Assad, for example, Bidet Alou. I mean, so much you can get for that price. It's just way better than this. But I mean, if you like it and you kind of scent, I'm not trashing it. Wear it, love it. For me, it's just basically too cheaply done. I mean, it doesn't smell much better than most $5 preferred fragrance dupes I have, and I give them a grading on a curve. Not this, not a Hugo Boss, and at $20, $25, $30, whatever. No, don't, just don't. But again, you do you, boo. Don't let me tell you what to wear. It's just a personal recommendation, not the end all be all. So, all right, guys, that's it. Peace, love, be good to each other, and be good to yourselves.